Hi, everyone. My name's David Bauders. I'm the CEO of Hounds, and I'm here today with Jon Duffie. Jon's the Director of Channel Management for Siemens. Welcome, Jon.
Thank you, David. Happy to be here.
So we have kind of an interesting topic today. We're going to talk about the gray market, which is, we all know from our lives as consumers, can be a big deal, counterfeits and other fraudulent merchandise. Tell us a little bit about what that means in the markets that Siemens serves.
Well, it's become a real big problem ever since COVID. The supply chain got constrained a little bit during COVID, and these gray market sellers have really proliferated in the last several years. And these are folks that are we consider them to be illegitimate sellers of our product online. They're obtaining product through ways that we don't know. We think we know, and we're trying to attack those avenues. But they are able to obtain product and then resell it online at very, very competitive prices and at great risk to the consumers and entities that are buying those products.
So this is pretty incredible, right? Like we all understand like counterfeit handbags and, luxury merchandise, but people are actually going out and slapping Siemens logos on things that aren't Siemens product.
That is correct. And a circuit breaker is a life safety device. Right. So it is a very important piece of an electrical infrastructure, and to have an inferior or used or refurbished product in a situation where there's life safety involved and at risk is very important to us and very dangerous for consumers.
Understandably. So how much of the problem is let's just say, fake new product versus refurbished product?
For us, cloned and counterfeit products have become a problem in the last couple of years. We have not dealt with that up until probably 2 or 3 years ago. Most of the issues that we had were refurbished or used or somehow fraudulently obtained products being sold.
Stolen
or any sort of way to obtain the product. We have begun to really see cloned and counterfeit products in the last couple of years, and we think that is because we've had tremendous growth in the industry, in our industry particularly. Our market share has been improving, and we believe that now we have hit that threshold.
You're more attractive.
We're a little more attractive than we used to be. So we're starting to see a lot of cloned and counterfeit products hitting the market.
And does the lead time issue play a role in that as well?
It had in the past. Right now lead times are pretty stable, but they absolutely have an impact. When lead times go up, we see more fraudulent activity, and when lead times are a little softer, it's not quite as aggressive, but it never really goes to zero.
So how can our contractors on Hounds start to be more vigilant? Let's say, how can you recognize the signs of counterfeit or fraudulent material?
Yeah. So the first thing I would say is if the deal is too good to be true,
it is.
It's too good to be true, right? And if you see code words that are used online that performs like, or it doesn't have a logo on it, or it has characteristics where they're using our branding, and this goes for all of our competitors too. A good example would be Schneider has a product called a QO 120, and if they're using that QO in a way that Schneider doesn't use that, or we have a Q120, if they're using that Q120 in a way that we don't use it, it's guaranteed to be a cloned or a counterfeit product.
Gotcha. So they're actually manipulating the product identity.
They do sometimes. They manipulate the identity, they manipulate the way they talk about the product, and they manipulate the way that they show that product online.
So do you have any estimate of how pervasive this problem is? Like what % of Siemens product is currently suffering from counterfeits, would you say?
Well, I would tell you this, that right now, we believe that almost 50% of the product that is sold on Amazon is not genuine Siemens products.
Wow.
So it is sold not by Siemens. Some of it may be obtained legitimately and put on Amazon, but we believe it's
liquidated inventory or
liquidated inventory. Exactly. Liquidated. Yeah, some of it might be used.
Contractor liquidation.
Exactly. But for us, about 50% of the sales on Amazon are third-party sellers.
So that's important, just as a helping contractors understand that certain channels have a pervasive problem with it.
Absolutely. And it's pervasive across the electrical industry, but it's really pervasive in the molded case circuit breaker and plug-on residential circuit breaker.
Are there other product categories that people should be aware of this problem?
Oh, 100%. There's lighting products out there. There are control products out there, automation products. There's certainly lugs and other products that would be counterfeit and products in this gray market, but it's pervasive across the industry.
What's the root cause of it? Is it mostly Asian producers with low cost of goods who are coming in, slapping the label on it, finding it gets them a better price point? Like, how would you describe the source of the problem?
So most of the cloned and counterfeit products that we are aware of, that we've seen and tracked down, do come from Asia, and a great majority come from China. They're probably coming from other places as well, but for sure, we've been able to track and identify Asia and China as the primary producer of cloned and counterfeit products. Now, a cloned product is a product that looks like our product. When you put a brand name on it, then it becomes a counterfeit product.
Gotcha. And how would is most of the product that is being counterfeited trying to replace domestic U.S. product?
Almost always, it could be produced in the United States, Mexico, Canada, North America, and some of it is produced in Europe as well. But it's in the residential space, it's North America.
Okay. So what is Siemens doing about this? I mean, this is a big issue. It's a safety issue, as you pointed out. What can you do about this?
So Siemens has done a lot of things about this. We've actually now created a brand protection office within Siemens in the United States. We have not had that before 6 months ago. So we now have an individual whose job it is to perform brand protection for Siemens. We have put a similar person in place in Europe. So we're focused here in the United States on circuit protection products predominantly. In Europe, there's a lot of control and automation products that are in the industry that are fraudulent.
So are you starting to work with platforms like Amazon to help them flag it and basically block those sellers from getting access?
So that's a really good question. And we haven't had a ton of luck working directly with Amazon. You have to really understand how Amazon puts these products online and goes to market, and it's a big revenue stream for them. So they're a little bit resistant sometimes to help when we say, hey, it's a life safety product. We haven't been able to get a lot of traction with that, or we say the product is fraudulently obtained. We don't get traction. Where we've gotten traction with Amazon, where it's a copyright infringement or an infringement on the way that the product is identified, we can go after and get Amazon to act. And we actually have used a third party to help us identify where these sellers are breaking Amazon's rules, per se, on how they have these products.
Make it easier for Amazon, basically.
Exactly. So we've been able to utilize this company. We've been able to remove tens of millions of dollars and hundreds of sellers. So tens of millions of dollars of product and hundreds of sellers.
Is this kind of a whack-a-mole problem where you're not
absolute whack-a-mole, because tomorrow they'll show up in another different name, or they might change the way they're showing the product. So it's a continuous
conforming.
It's a never-ending problem. We know we're having an impact, but it's the problem is never resolved.
I guess it's basically at a certain level, it's just the arbitrage problem between the cost of producing the product overseas versus in North America or wherever.
Yes.
What else should people know about the gray market that we haven't covered?
Well, we've actually been successful in working with NEMA to form a counterfeit and cloning task force, a brand protection task force, if you will. And we've joined with our competitors, Eaton, Schneider, ABB, Siemens, Rockwell, and many other electrical manufacturers in the industry are now part of this committee.
I love it.
And we've now met
I'm sure a lot of the producers of counterfeit material were cloning all of your products.
100% they are. And so we now have this NEMA committee. We've been meeting for about 6 months. We've engaged UL, we've engaged ESFI, we've worked with the Consumer
Product
Safety Commission, and also our border enforcement and control. And we're taking this problem from multiple angles as an industry now coming together.
So if you think about the regulatory government side of it, are the laws and code regulations of the administration sufficient to help solve this problem, or is there additional work needed?
There's additional work that needs to be done. There's additional work not only with the laws, and we've tried to utilize the Shop Safe Act as well to engage, but there's additional work to be done with border protection to try to catch these products before they even get into the United States. So helping
The manifests that are
exactly,
shipping
helping
with.
secure our borders from fraudulent product. And so we actually had them present to us at one of our NEMA meetings, and so there's going to be some activity there in the future.
Well, John, it's been great to chat with you about this serious problem of gray market product. It's great that Siemens has been able to identify what the root causes are and to really put some strong efforts into protecting the industry. And we appreciate your time.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it, and appreciate your support in this initiative.